Hi everyone, Lauren Slocum Lahav here. Super excited for tonight's call. Oh my gosh, love this girl. So I'm about to introduce you to Perri Hammond, and I'll share a little bit about her. But just before that, just want to once again congratulate a couple people on our team. We have Amanda Wright who went NMD. We have Andrew Fink who just went DD and is on his way to VF. I think that Suzanne has her new girl is close to going VF this week as well. And as you know, Sylvia went QNMD. So very exciting, excited to see other people hopefully really launching into senior sales coordinator in the next couple months as well. Lots of people that are at VF and are ready to really take their business to the next level. And it's really painting that vision of truly what's possible. So I'm Lauren Slocum Lahav, National Marketing Director here in Las Vegas. I'm actually sitting outside my daughter's very first voice lesson. And what I love about this business is really all the things that Juice classes allow me to really say yes to. You know, and I just remember years ago just that desire for Asher to take these singing lessons and, you know, and what it felt like not to be able to say yes and what it feels like now to say yes to all of these things that my kids want to do. So let me tell you a little bit about Perri. She is from a small country town in Victoria, Australia, and she started Juice Plus 3 years ago. She was 21 and was working full-time in hospitality and had her own photography business on the side, and she desperately wanted more out of life. And little did she know what 18 months later she was able to match her income and was able to say goodbye to her cafe job and really to be able to say yes to her life. So I'm truly honored to be able to have her on tonight's call with you guys. As I shared, she is a qualified national marketing director, and just in 18 months of hunkering down, full focus, she was able to replace her job. So I think that you're going to hear some amazing nuggets and some things to really take action on. I'm actually just going to let you roll with it. Awesome. Just let you talk whatever you feel right, and we'll just ask some questions at the end. But just so you know, you have people on from the UK, from San Francisco, from New York, from the Netherlands, from Las Vegas. I'm excited. Here you go.
Awesome. Amazing. Thanks so much for the intro, Lauren. Makes me a little bit nervous knowing I'm literally speaking to people all around the globe at the moment. But yeah, so someone has just started screen sharing. If we've got a J Glass, if you just want to turn your screen share off, we can see your whole laptop at the moment, but that's okay. So yeah, I was introduced to Juice Plus 3 years ago, and like Lauren said, I was working in hospitality, and I'd been in hospitality for 8 years. Like since I was able to have a job, I'd started working. So I had a really good work ethic, but I was 21, but I was at the point in my life where I was like, I just want more out of life. Like I don't see anything changing anytime soon. And I had moved interstate about a year earlier. And when I moved interstate, I had $500 to my name. And then 12 months later, I still had $500 to my name. And that was like a big slap in the face, just going like, my life is not moving forward. And I really, really want more for it. And so I did actually I studied photography, which was something I was extremely passionate about, and started my own business thinking that was going to be my way out. And I was going to run my own business and it was going to be free and amazing. And I was going to do all the things that I wanted. But if I've got anyone on here that's been in traditional business, it's not like that. It's really, really hard, especially when you have to still go to work every single day. So I pushed at that for a few years, but I just really lost my passion about it. And I think it was because I was always pushing and could never move forward. So I was actually out there looking for another job, like just a normal job. And I was speaking to someone in the gym and I was thinking maybe I could become a personal trainer, which thank the Lord I never become a personal trainer because I can't even motivate myself to exercise. But I was talking, you guys may have heard of him, Laurie Cameron. He's my upline. And he just approached me in the gym. And I think this is probably one of your first tips for today's call. He literally just come up to me in the gym. I was stretching on the ground and he just started talking to me. And it wasn't I think back and it didn't feel weird. It didn't feel awkward. Like he just started talking to me and getting really curious about my life. And we don't actually get that very often these days. Like not many people get curious about just how we are and what we're doing and where we're from. And I actually thought it was quite nice that someone had come up to me. And so write that down if you guys haven't already. It's just about caring for people and asking them really good quality questions. So he got really curious about my life. And I told him that I really didn't like my job and I just moved here about a year ago. And I was thinking about becoming a personal trainer, and he told me how it is. And he's like, I said, well, what else is, like, if you don't really love personal training, what's your plan? And he told me that he had a little business on the side. And I was like, okay, tell me more about that. And so I just got really, really curious. And I think a few days later, I went along to a meeting and I met Linda Everton, which you guys would have definitely heard of Linda. And I met Adam Westwick and Lauren Berry. And I was like, these people are just infectious. They have amazing personalities. They were doing all the things that I wanted to do in life. But more so, like that was 3 years ago. So they weren't even in amazing positions in the business. They just had this like energy about them. And so that's your second tip, guys. It's not about what you're achieving and what you're doing. It's more so about your energy and what you can give and how you make people feel. And Linda sat down with me and she's like asking me about my photography business. And my goal at that point was like, could I just earn enough money so that I was able to run my photography business? And so she mapped that out for me. And I was just like, I'm in. Yep, sign me up right here, right now. Like this, it just sounded, I'd never heard of anything like it. And I took my partner along and everything because I wanted his opinion. And he's like, yeah, I think you should do it. So that was 3 years ago. And I think then and there, and meeting them and seeing that, I made a decision that day that I was not going anywhere. And I didn't care how long it was going to take me, but I knew that I wasn't able to give up. Because if I was going to make a commitment to say I was doing this, then, and I was going to put it out there and share it with the world as well, it was really, really important that I never let people down on that commitment. And so I just really want to get that across to you guys, that this is a 3 to 5 year commitment, if not longer. And there is going to be ups and downs in the business. But there's going to be ups and downs in life. And you're probably not always going to get everywhere you want to be when you want to be there. But that's just the way it is. And every single challenge you come across, if you just look at that a different way, instead of going, shit, here's another challenge, what am I supposed to do? Like, this is just so hard. Imagine if you flipped it on its head and just said, awesome, here's another challenge. Where do I need to grow? I'm going to embrace this because I'm about to learn something new. And just look at it a different way. And I didn't get that in the beginning. So every time I had a challenge, I was like, oh, this sucks. Can't be bothered doing this. This is hard. But I still had that within me that I was never going to quit. It was just a hard time. But now with the growth and the personal development, I've just come to see that I'm excited when there's a challenge now. Like if one of my team members messaged me, was like, this happened, what do I do? I'm really distraught. I'm like, awesome. Okay, let's handle this. And I'm like excited because I know that they're going to grow in this situation and I'm going to get to grow. Do you want me to just keep talking, Lauren? All right.
Yes, keep talking.
Yes,
keep talking. I want to share a couple things that I'm just like nodding my head. I'm driving, but I want to just say a couple things. One, I want you guys to really hear what she said. And anybody that knows Lauren Cameron, the biggest thing that he gets here, which Jeff did great, was he built a relationship with me without any expectations. Right, and that's really what you talked about beforehand. And I love what you said. 3 to 5 years. That's the best advice that Jeff and Cheryl gave me. Was 3 to 5 years and focus 3 to 5 years. So awesome. So I keep going. You're doing awesome.
Yeah.
Keep on, babe.
Yeah, completely. And I think if you're going to make that commitment too, like, you don't want to be the type of person that's going to say they're going to do something and not going to do it. So when you make a commitment to this business, you've got to recognize that it is a 3-year plan, and nobody's doing this for the money that you're going to get right now or this month. Like, we're all doing this for the money that we're going to receive in the long term. And even if you are at that point in your business where you might be earning a really good income, like my partner always says this, okay, you might be comfortable right now, but don't forget you're attracting people that are coming in this to go after that chase. So like, I always say to my new team, you're not the message, you're just the messenger. So you just need to put people in the message and remember that we're all on the same chase. We're all after something in life. So never get caught up in the like, oh, I've made it now. I'm where I want to be, because I think we can always go further. And it gets harder to attract people to the business if you're in that like, oh, I'm comfortable where I am. I think people love joining someone that's on a mission and they're going somewhere. So that's been a really big thing for me lately, and recognizing that. I think the biggest thing too that I've come to terms with, and this has definitely been instilled from Lorian, is that the more that I grow myself, the more my business will grow. And if you guys don't know Lorian Cameron, like, he's literally just like a normal dude from Byron Bay, didn't have an amazing childhood, was nothing really special in life, but his motto is literally like, you can outwork anybody if you've got a good work ethic and you're willing to put in the work on yourself and your business. So that's like exactly the same as me. I literally grew up in a home where it was never expected to do anything amazing in my life. A lot of negativity, and it was kind of like just a mediocre life. So I knew I had to work on myself big time in this business. Like, I knew that I believed in the industry, I believed in the company, I believed in the products, but it was my belief in myself that was the biggest thing that held me back. So now knowing that it really just comes down to how can I work on myself. So I'm always like, well, I'm always calling my upline going, okay, this is going on, which area do I need to work on? And then we're like, okay, I'm going to do this course, or I'm going to do this book, I'm going to listen to this podcast. And I'm always knowing what are the areas of me do I need to work on, because then the growth in my business will come next. So find out where you need to improve. Like, identify the weak spot in your business. Like, I always say to people, if like I'm struggling, I'm like, well, what's going on? Like, I don't know what's going on. I'm like, well, if you could figure out what was going on, what's going on. And normally people just make up stories in their head. So for a long time, I had this story in my head that I just don't know if I deserve this, or I don't know if I can be that person that works that hard. And I was kind of telling myself these stories unconsciously because that's the way I was brought up. So I had to work on those weak spots. And it wasn't just working on them here and there. It was creating daily habits in my life to kind of, and you kind of like builds up over time. So some of the daily habits is obviously just doing personal development every day, but choosing courses that resonate, or books and stuff that resonate with you and your life and where you're at. And also, like, something I've really realized lately, because I call my car the university car, and I'm always listening to podcasts in my car. But sometimes when I'm driving, I've realized that I'm not actually listening properly to them. So I've put aside time at home for like half an hour every day, where I'm actually sitting down, concentrating on what I'm listening to, writing notes and all that kind of stuff. So I think like it's important to do this as we do life, but if you're at a point in your business where you are able to say, do this more, like do this, I guess, not around a job and stuff like that, like you are doing this more of a full-time basis, I think it's really important that you are setting aside that a time and really focus time on personal development, improving yourself.
Great.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit also though about your daily method of operation? Because like you said, like, you know, we want to spend like a little bit on personal development. Sometimes those people can have this false sense that they're growing in their business when they're just listening to information. So how you've got a real hunger in you, you know, I mean, what I love most about Lorian, you know, he had a big vision. He has a big, huge, ginormous vision. And he has a hunger, you know, a hunger inside him to really do this. What got you into those income producing activities, right? Like just getting on calls isn't going to build your paycheck, right? Like,
no.
So what are some of the income building activities that you do? So maybe you can share a little bit about that, because you're getting real results in your pay, in your team, in your mission, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you can share a little bit about that.
So I guess the number one thing, the reason that most people do this business is for an income. Obviously, there's so many other benefits that come with it, but the two things that are going to produce an income are building team and building customers. So if you're jumping on trainings, doing personal development, all that kind of stuff, it is great, but you're not going to be getting team and customers from doing that. You've got to actually implement the stuff you earn. So the stuff you learn. So something that I ensure that I am doing every single day is just sharing this opportunity, like every day. And it's whether it's once a day or 5 times a day. I just make sure that every single day of my life, I am telling someone about this opportunity. And I've built my whole business on social media. And the first reason behind it, that was I was really shy. And I was actually really scared to talk to people face to face. So social media was a way that I could build my confidence. But also it's just such a simple way. Like I lived interstate from all the people, all my warm market. So it was a way that I could connect with them. So the number one thing that you do every day, like I'll say the 2 things, okay? So the first thing that you want to do every day is expand your network, because eventually your warm market will dry up. So you want to think every single day, okay, how am I going to go somewhere and meet someone, add them to my my network? Am I going to add someone on Facebook and connect with them? Like, how are you going to expand your network every single day? And that's not for the now. Expanding your network is not for the money you earn now. Expanding your network is for the money you're going to earn in the future. And you will literally never run out of people to talk to if you're expanding your network every single day. And then secondly, the other thing you want to do that's a high paying activity every single day is share this opportunity. Like I said to you, I find a way to share this with people every single day. So majority of the time it is through social media. And that's just talking to people, like literally talking to people, listening, having really, really good conversations, and just asking the quality questions. Like if I could show you a way to create an extra income without like, I guess, having an effect on what you're doing at the moment, would you be interested in looking at that? Or like, just ask me, have you ever thought about working from home? But before I'm asking those questions, like I'm not just sending cold messages to people asking these questions. I'm building a relationship with them, getting to know, and like, is this something that could fit into their life or that could benefit their life? And then I'm asking the quality questions and sharing it. And I have no attachment to whether they say yes or no. And that's really, really important. Like if anybody is attached to their yeses or nos, then like your mood's just going to be killed so fast every single day. So don't be attached to that. Don't be attached to whether someone's going to do this or not. Like you need to be attached to doing your DMO every single day. So because I built my business mainly on social media, something that I teach people in the beginning to help them get in the groove is something that I call the 5x5 rule. So it's the way it works is like, it's a simple DMO. So if you guys have a pen and a paper, write this down. And if you can just do this every single day, it's going to help build your, like, I guess your views on social media. It's going to help build your network. It's going to help keep you accountable to talk to people. It's going to help your posts get seen, like improve the algorithm, all of that kind of stuff. So the 5x5 rule is firstly 5 posts. Now this, like I personally think posting 5 times on your personal wall is a little bit much. So, but think about how can you get out there. So you might do 2 on your personal wall. You might go networking groups and just like, I'm getting married at the end of this year. So I'm posting a lot in like wedding groups and discussions at the moment, just building relationships with other people that are in the same situation. You might have different social media accounts. So an Instagram, a Facebook or a Twitter or something like that. So just doing 5 posts out there somewhere. You might like post in your support group or whatever group you've got going on, but 5 posts, okay? The second one is 5 comments. So go to 5 different people's statuses or pictures or something like that and leave a comment, but do it to 5 different people. And don't do it to the people on your team or in your downline or your customers. You want to do it to people that like people that I guess maybe are new to your network or that you want to build a relationship with. So don't scroll through the news feed and do it. You want to actually go look for the people that you're going to do it on. So 5 comments and then 5 likes. So again, go to find 5 people's pictures or statuses that you want to like. Adding 5 people every single day, and then sending 5 new messages every day. And again, this is not including team, customers, anything like that. This has got to be 5 brand new connections. So that's something that I call it the 5 by 5, and it's something that a lot of my team feel like they can handle that. It's not too overwhelming and it makes sense. So hopefully that helps you guys. But you've got to be really consistent on social media. You've got to show up every day. And the biggest thing that's going to attract people to you is your energy. It's 110% your energy. It's not how much you're earning. It's not what's in our fruit and veggie capsules. It's not the studies. It's not like anything. It's you and it's your energy. And so if you're working on yourself every single day, you're going to have better energy. And if you're if you're living the mission, if you're taking the products, utilizing them, you're going to have better energy. So you've got to live the mission. You've got to work on yourself. And then that's what's going to attract your tribe. So don't ever put anything negative out there on social media, or I wouldn't put it anywhere, let alone social media. And always think what kind of people do I want to attract, and start being that person. So if you want to attract a hardworking person, you need to be hardworking. If you want to attract a kind person, you need to be kind. Think about the things, the attributes that you want in your life, and you need to be like that, because then you're going to start attracting people like that. And I've noticed that massively, the people I attract into my business now compared to the people I attracted into my business 2 or 3 years ago, they're completely different people. And that's because I'm a completely different person. Do you have anything else you want me to cover, Lauren? I've got some more notes too. Or has anyone got any questions?
Go ahead. Well, first of all, I just wanted to share how amazing these great distinctions are. I love that you shared that the 555 doesn't have to be, I think it's been misinterpreted by a lot of people, that it needed to just be on Facebook or just be, in one area. I love the way that distinction that you made. The other thing is that, like you said, if you want to attract hardworking people, you need to show that you're doing hardworking activity, right? That you've got that great work ethic as well. So maybe you can dive a little bit into the switch for you. You said that you attracted a different kind of person, than you're attracting now. What's different? What did you do? What's different? Maybe you could say where you were and the kind of people you were attracting and what's happened now, the people you're attracting.
Yeah, it wasn't a switch. It wasn't, I wish it was, I wish it was fast and it just happened, but it was consistent. It was hard work. It was showing up and doing, developing myself every day. It was going to all the events and hanging around with all the people that I looked up to, staying close to that fire. If anybody has events or conferences or anything coming up, or you have one that you can go to regularly on a week-to-week basis, get there. I was in Linda's living room every single Thursday night, and if I didn't have her and have these people around me going get up there and speak and grow and share, I wouldn't still be here. So if you have that opportunity to get closer to these events or to hang around these people, do everything you can, because firstly you just love being around them and it's amazing, but you start learning off them and you see what they do and the actions they take, and you overhear things. And you start to pick up. So surround yourself with better people. Like I said, figure out your weak spots and go to work on them every single day. And over the time, I guess I just developed into a different person. And I still have the same attributes that I've always had, but I guess, and also I was really young when I started, so I've grown up a bit now.
So what were some of your weak spots, if you don't mind sharing? What were some of your weak spots that you had to grow in order to become where you are right now?
Yeah.
What would you say some of those things?
Definitely self-belief. Believing that I was really worthy of anything more than a normal life, and realizing that. So some of the kind of, I guess, books and stuff I read, let me try to think of some of my favorite books. It was How to Win Friends and Influence People, The Secret, really, really good one. Realizing that I'd probably been attracting a lot of bad stuff in my life for a really long time. That was a big one. And just no, like, I guess coming to terms with the fact that I was loved and that I did deserve this. And I don't know what the real distinction was that made that, I guess, appear to me, but it was just consistently over time surrounding myself with those people that were raising me up. Like, I have an amazing supportive partner that's always raising me up. I have Lorian that's always raising me up. I have Linda. Like, I have all these people that are always pouring into me and raising me up and telling me what I'm doing great. And I started to build that belief in myself. But in my workplace prior to this business, like, I was a really hard worker and I did everything right, but I was never praised. And I think that's the difference between this business and a normal job, or most normal jobs, is we don't get that praise. We don't get the reward for our hard work. And we don't realize the negative effect it has on us, and subconsciously what we start thinking about ourselves, like, am I never doing good enough? Am I not good enough? Do I not deserve this? And subconsciously, we don't even know, but we're having those thoughts. So it's just about retraining your subconscious mind and doing that. You got to have your personal development every single day. And also once you get into action, guys, I feel like, oh no, I need to change my life now before I can build my business. If you start building your business, you get this inspiration and you get this growth from building your business. Like, I know every single day when I smash out my DMO, I'm like, oh my God, I feel so accomplished now. Like, I know I'm one step closer to the life that I want. And I feel like I deserved it because I put in the work. So something I hear so often, I hope that answers your question for you. Something I hear so often is, I just don't have the motivation. I just don't have the motivation. And like, motivation doesn't really exist. The motivation is going to come after you get into the action. So something that we had an amazing business retreat on the weekend, and one of the speakers spoke about getting yourself into state every single day, and then imagine how inspired you're going to be to get into action. So every single day now, I did it before I was about to get on this call, before I'm about to present on an event, or I'm about to talk to people, or do my DMO, or do my 5x5 on Facebook, I get myself pumped up, I get fired up, and I'm everyone's different, so you can do whatever suits you, but I just jump up and down because it creates energy in my body. You might, I know one of the other girls in our team does handstands, whatever, you might dance around to music, whatever makes you feel young and alive, and there's energy flowing through your body, because energy goes where energy flows. So if you've got energy flowing through your body, you're going to have this amazing energy around you, and you're going to that's where attracting the better people comes into play, because people can feel that. That's when the writing better posts.
I love what you said. Action creates that motivation.
Yeah.
Right? That's the action, you doing the action, you're like, heck yeah, you're motivated because you're like, I'm making progress.
Yeah.
Right? When you're making progress, you get more excited, you feel more energy in your body. So I think that everybody, they just realize, when they catch themselves going, I don't have the motivation, get into action. That's the trigger, right? To really get into action for yourself, right? Wow, you're amazing. You are absolutely amazing. I'm totally fired up by everything that you're sharing, the little distinctions and just your passion. Does anybody have any questions for her? Anybody have any questions for Perri? I want to be respectful of your time. And there's a lot of people here who have a lot of that information. They know, they've been to, they know the information, right? They're hungry. They really want it. What would be the one tip that you would say to them? I think you kind of said it through everything, but with the one thing, if they're saying, I want this, I'm on the calls, I'm talking to people, but I'm not getting those results that I really want, what would be the one thing that you would say to them to grow their business exponentially?
One thing. Know why you're here, because if you don't know why you're here, then why would you do the work to get into action? So get really certain about why you're here and why you want to do this, and whether it's long-term or short-term, just get really, really down to the core of why you're here. And so that's been something I've struggled with lately, because I've gone, I have a pretty good life. Like, what's going on? Why am I here? And so, like, you've got to set yourself new goals. And so every level you get to, set yourself new goals and think about, get into that amazing energetic state, think about those goals, and then get into action, because you're going to feel so inspired. You're going to do your DMO. You're going to be so motivated. It's all just going to come one after the other. So that would be my one tip. Start with there, then go from there. Yeah.
And Perri, you said something really important, because what kills most dreams and is comfort. You know, when people are just comfortable. When they're comfortable, right, they won't grow, because they're like, well, I really don't need it. But it's like, you know, where Jeff always talks out that he kind of did this out of, when he started the business, he did it out of desperation, right? And now he does it out of inspiration. So it's the same thing, you know, for myself. Now I do out of inspiration. Like, his life might change because I started, you know, had that 3 seconds of courage to talk to them, right? Or I took that extra time to respond to that post. So that, you know, those 3 seconds of courage, what do you really need to do to step into that? I mean, think of it. So there's a person on your team, maybe your customer, a story that you have that, you know, you're like so grateful you were courageous at that time, or that when you wanted, like, I don't really need to talk to somebody, but I'll talk to them, and how their life has changed. Is there a story like that of someone on your team or a customer or anything that you'd like to share? Anything?
There is one girl on my team, and I actually almost closed the door on her. She was a customer of mine for 2 years, but she actually said to me, I think your business is shit. Like, I love this product, but I think this business is shit. Like, I don't know how you do it, because I don't know, like, I just think it's shit. So I literally was like, okay, she's always going to be my customer. And then, but I looked after her. I messaged her every week. I went to her house, had coffee with her, even though she told me she was never going to do this, but I just loved on her as a customer. And then 2 years later, she came to me and was like, do you think I can do your business? And I actually said to her, yeah, let me ask my boss. And she believed me, and she's like, hey, let me know what they say. She had no idea what this was about. And she's been able to fully stay home with her 3 kids. She's just about to have her 3rd. She's been able to stay home this whole time, which has been amazing. And the personal growth that I've seen her go through has just been, like, so amazing. Wow. And also, like, her 2nd and 3rd baby is thanks to this product. She really, really struggled with infertility before the product. So, really cool.
Amazing. So does anybody have any final questions? I want to be respectful of everybody's time. Amazing call. I'm like, just want to grab you the phone and hug you. Anybody want to say anything?
Yeah.
I have. I'll go quickly. Or who's the other person that talked? I think a lot of us want to talk. And I personally, your story is absolutely very close to what I've experienced. I'm in the hotel industry and hospitality industry. I'm also an artist as well. And when you describe how you went through that lull where it was so difficult that you just wanted to hang up everything and just kind of find, in a way settle, but rather find that stability or that, give up the fight. I've gone through all that. And I've also gone through kind of like understanding how at home, no one really expected great things from me. In fact, for several reasons, right? So I'm extremely grateful that you shared your story. I'm extremely grateful for all the work you put in order for you to get to this point in time, because it really has awakened, and it has crackled a lot of things that I didn't understand about myself, and it put it into perspective. So
I'm so glad.
So that said, and no, I'm also very respectful of your time. How was it that you went from an employee and also a creative? In my case, it's taken me so long for me to fight for it was such a fight to be able to create a space in my family for me to be an actor, that any variations from that seemed to me, or it sensed to me, as a betrayal for the fight. So you being an artist as well and fighting so hard for your photography,
Yeah.
how did you bridge that? What was that shift?
Well, my family actually found it really challenging that I was going to do something different. They did, and my partner found it challenging, and they always thought that I was this little business I was doing wasn't going to last long, and
right.
So it's actually been quite challenging for them to accept that this is what I'm doing, and I've made that decision. And so I guess always just reassuring them that you're doing what you want to do. Like I think it's your family are happy as long as you're happy. So always reassuring them that this is do what you want to do from your heart, and reassuring them
right.
this is why you want to do it, and letting them know that. And like I know for me and my partner, like there's been times where he's like, you should just go get a job. And I've been like I guess explaining that no, I want more from life. I want to do this. And is that kind of what you're asking?
Yeah, that is. But the question was not so much like I don't care what other. I'm not so really keen on the family. I'm more curious about. I'm sure
yourself?
that you went through the struggle. Yeah. So how was it that you went from working in hospitality, where you basically are kind of you're concerned more about what the other person needs rather than yourself, and as an artist trying to open up that being able to be true to that fight, because it is mostly a fight of being creative, to being able to say I want to do a business, a self-employed business, or my own business, my own thing, in order to funnel the creativity. How was it that you expanded your identity into being not only a creative as far as photography, but also creative of your lifestyle?
I used a lot of my creative side of my photography, and that I really embrace that on social media. So everyone always is like, oh, your pictures are amazing, or your posts are written so well. And I really have used those skills within this business. And so I'm always the one that's like, I'll create the flyer, I'll do that, because I love being able to use that creative side of me. I still do have it in me. So I don't feel like I'm missing out on the creativeness. So
you leverage and you expanded on the creativity, and you spilled it over to this.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Definitely.
Awesome.
Definitely.
Awesome.
Sorry.
Thank
you so much. Thanks so much, Lauren.
Perri, you were amazing. I'd love if you were to pick a number between 1 and 30 so that I can get, everybody's getting off the phone early. Not smart. Got to load my number. So why don't you pick a number, or just tell me when to stop, and I'm going to give away a prize.
Okay.
Tell me when.
Stop.
Tell me when to stop. Oh, Jessica. Jessica, you've won. You've won a prize. So,
awesome.
Jessica.
Yay, I like to win.
You want a prize? I'll let you know the prize. So Jessica is new. She is new to the team, pretty new, and so ready to. I'll give you your prize when you come over tomorrow to pick up my baby girl. So thank you so much, Perri. It was amazing.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome.
Thanks,
I'm looking
guys.
forward to seeing you.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Perri, that was awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I really
Thank you,
appreciate
Perri.
it. See you guys one day.
You will certainly. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.